It was August 27th, 2021, and Avatar releases a prison meant to change the ways of prisons forever. You see, most prisons up until this point use the overworld as the main dimension of the prison, and some prisons had another section, like Elio Citadel, Guy's Vault, and Neptune's Last Wave, but none had fully used the Nether yet. Hell's Tomb was different. It was the first fully Nether prison in Minecraft. Unlike the chunk border, it's what everything thinks. I'm here to showcase the entire history of Nether prisons in Minecraft and how they have gone so far to having dominated the top spots in the prison rankings for years. This is the history of Nether prisons. On February 18th, 2021, Fan released the first prison buried in Pandora's Vault, and it was meant to showcase what an inescapable prison could be. This is what started the prison community. He later showcased two more prisons built by the Death Creeper called Hades' Vault and Guy's Vault. This kickstarted the community and gave everyone hope for a perfect prison. For the next several months, many people built Minecraft prisons to slowly make better and better prisons with the goal of building the perfect prison. But there was one thing in common with all of these prisons. None of them had used the Nether as the prison's main dimension. And this was about to change. July 27th, 2021, a fairly unknown prison released by the name of the Chunk Border. It was the first prison to use the Nether to its advantage. The cell of the prison was located inside the Nether and used the bedrock roof as the floor to the cell, which was insanely unique at the time. This prison was not noticed by many prison community members due to the lack of views and recommendations it got, and the fact it wasn't that good compared to other prisons at the time, and it was glitchless, so yeah. On August 27th, 2021, 1 month after the first kinda Nether prison, Avatar.png joined the prison community and uploaded what he thought to be the first Nether prison at the time. This would bring on some controversy, as if the chunk board counted as the first since he used the overworld and Hell's Tomb didn't. But it was finally decided that Hell's Tomb would be classified as the first true Nether prison. Well, not really. It wasn't that good. Hell's Tomb was a pretty mad prison because it was bandless and even allowed the prisoners to go into the fucking guard rooms. What the fuck is this prison Hell's Tomb still showcased the use of the Nether as useful, making it viable. Nobody really cared though. The Nether was viewed as still flawed and would need a new prison to decide if people should use it, and that's what they got. Around this time, people they were tired of Guy's Vault being the greatest prison. Many people tried and failed to make the greatest prison since Guy's Vault. Elio Citadel was never meant to be the best, it was just meant to be humane. The pyramid was heavily flawed, Temple overall was unknown at the time, and is still considered this day to not be better than Guy's Vault, even though it kinda is. I don't know, kinda just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Anyways, the community felt like it was dying because Fan left, Mithridac left, also known as Ivory. Who knew that Nether prison would dethrone it? It had to be soon though, as something was being built that could dethrone all others. November 19th, 2021, Raven's Coffin was showcased for the first time. Being a truly insane prison for its time, or should I say extreme deviant, patching all the flaws in Hell's Tomb and making it even better. Raven's Coffin was the first prison to truly dethrone Guy's Vault by pretty much everyone in the community. Even better, it was a Nether prison, showcasing how Nether prisons can be used as an advantage. And at the time, this just proved that this Nether thing is actually good compared to like the overworld. Sadly, this prison didn't get as much views as Hell's Tomb, but it was much more known in the community more. This prison showed that prison can be better than Guy's Vault. All it takes is time, trying, failing, and everything. A couple days after Small School was released, it was just a small, invalid Nether prison. It was built by ZF and Qers at JT. I mean, it was the smallest for a time, so I guess it innovated, but Raven's Coffin overshadowed it. And this was the last Nether prison of 2022. Just kidding, a few days before 2022, Kojin's Harp was released, I think that's how you say it. It was the prison aimed to be better than Raven's Coffin, but with all of the Raven's Coffin updates and the fact that it was kind of outdated and then Crisp kind of just left the community, was not that into it anymore, it sadly failed the goal. It was a unique prison though, showing some new Nether prison techs such as basalt regenerating cells, which weren't used before. So this prison is also actually pretty good, although the roof detect doesn't work, but we don't speak about that. This will lead to be Crisp's only released prison to this day. Meanwhile, Avatar.png was secretly working on a prison behind everyone's backs. This prison was destined to be as simple as possible, while also being buildable on both paper and spigot. It was meant to be a second channel prison, but I think Crisp just wanted it to be on the main for some reason, I don't know why. It succeeded at his goal and became the #1 Nether prison. Little did anyone know, the Dark Ages were soon to come. Avatar.png, the original Nether prison creator, Coriel's great exterior builder of Daedalus Labyrinth and Elio Citadel, and Canadian, some just great prison builder and escapist, blew all of our minds with the Fakrams, being the most secure prison at the time and destroying every other. It was Daedalus Labyrinth, but in the Nether. People love this prison, and it's still one of the most viewed prison videos to this day. Honorable mentions are Hell's Tomb Revamped, which I never talked about. It was a prison of mine that honestly was probably my best prison at the time. And a few months after that, I made Regions Leave-In, which nobody cares about. It was shitty, and it got escaped in 35 seconds. We don't speak about Regions Leave-In, please help me. And then I released another prison, Ragnarok. It was my greatest prison at the time, and the other prisons were still scarce, and that's when Minegrove's Eye released. Mangrove's Eye killed Nether Prison. With the use of spawn chunks, which at the time Nether Prison didn't have, there was no point to build a Nether Prison. This is the end of Nether Prisons, everyone thought, and it truly seemed like it was. Mangrove's Eye and the spawn chunks just overshadowed it. There was no point to build another prison. So I guess that's the end. Brambert was testing spawn chunks one day when he realized the Nether had spawn chunks on paper and spigot. This was insane news to Nether prisons, and Brambert was going to be the first. So Brambert spent a couple months and built Raven's Revenge, the best prison, dominating all the others and showing how Nether prisons can still use the Nether. It was just so good, so compact, so cheap, so... I don't know, it was just a great prison. It took a while for people to escape, and for some people it was like their best video they had ever made. And this just proved like Nether prisons are possible. He later came out and even like built the Foxton, an extremely cheap prison having under what was it, 60,000 bucks for the time, and then he updated to have 30,000, but we don't speak of that. And still, like, extremely cheap, probably the best prison for the time, although people say Raven's Revenge is better, even though Foxton is obviously better. Okay, what the heck is wrong with people's minds nowadays? Anyways, Raven's Revenge was just Mangrove's Eye, but in the Nether and better. It showed how prison could be good in the Nether again. It was as revolutionary as Raven's Coffin and would be for a while. And then people started like building their Nether spawn chunks prisons again. I mean, like, we now have Dwarven Keep, Raven's Retaliation, soon to be Cataclysm. If that ever comes out, yeah, Dead Cow, do you want to like continue that, or are you canceling it? But yeah, and then Raven's Retaliation, that was the first prison to patch Trident Warping, which was a new exploit that nobody had patched before that. There was also Monolith's Reprisal that also patched Trident Warping and used a new Wither defense with beehives. Okay, what the fuck is this prison community gone to? We're using fucking beehives. The main problem is the fact that all these prisons are basically just copied off of one another. There hasn't really been like any unique like ways of building prisons since Raven's Retaliation. You know, I think I need to change that.